So on Sunday, I got to see my nephew Reese, and he was asking me what my favorite book of all ever, what was my favorite book. And I actually can't find it as a Kindle reader, but it is Stuck by Oliver Jeffers. And he also writes the Day the Crayons Came Home books with, I think he illustrates those actually. But this is another book, and it's also by Oliver Jeffers, and I still really enjoy it. But I'm going to try, and maybe by the end of this week, I'll be able to get my copy, and I'm going to try to read it to you guys so that we can share that, okay? Okay, so today we're going to read How to Catch a Star. Once there was a boy, and the boy loved stars very much. Every night he watched the stars from his window and wished he had one of his very own. Now, if you know anything about fiction stories or stories that are made up, we can't really go out into the sky and grab a star. What I love about this is that it's sort of realistic fiction, because kids do sometimes wish they could go out and grab a star. He dreamed of this star, of how the star would be his friend, and they would play hide and go seek and take long walks together. The boy decided he would try to catch one. He thought getting up early in the morning would be best, because the star would be tired from being up in the sky all night. The next day he set out at sunrise, but he could not see the star anywhere. So he sat down and waited for one to appear. That's because we can't see the stars during the daytime. During the daytime, our sun is shining brightly, and so it's harder to see distant objects like the other stars in the sky, because they seem to dim during the day because our sun is so bright. It's almost like when your light's on and you turn on a flashlight, you can't really see the flashlight light that well, but then when the light's off, you can see the flashlight really well. That's because in comparison, it seems like it's dimmer in the bright light because, we've got the bright light already shining. He waited and waited and ate lunch, still no star, and waited, and after dinner, he waited some more. Finally, just before the sun was about to go away, he saw a star. So just like when our sun is going down, we can start to see the stars in the sky. This is true. The boy tried to jump up and grab it. Now, could we grab up and reach stars way high in the sky? No, but he could not jump high enough. So very carefully, he climbed to the top of the tallest tree he could find, but the star was still out of reach. Because even if you're at the top of the tallest tree or the tallest building or the tallest mountain, you're not going to be able to reach a star like that. He thought he might lasso the star with a life preserver from his father's boat. So this isn't real. This is what he's imagining happening. But it was much too heavy for him to carry, so he can't carry his life preserver, so that's not going to work either. If only he could fly up in a spaceship and just grab the star. But the only spaceship he owned was made of paper, and that didn't fly too well. Perhaps he could get a seagull to help him fly up into the sky and reach his star. But the only seagull he could find didn't want to help. He's like, no, I'm not going to help you. Please help me get the star. The boy worried he would never catch a star. Just then he noticed something floating in the water. It was the prettiest star he had ever seen. It was just a baby star. It must have fallen from the sky. So, do you think this star really fell from the sky? You know what I think is happening? Have you ever looked into a mirror and it looks like you're in the mirror, but really it's just your reflection? Or sometimes if you look on very flat, still water, you can see things that are reflected, like a tree is reflected in the water. I think this star is probably just a reflection of this star. He tried to fish it out with his hands, but when the boy reached out to touch the star, it just rippled through his fingers. Can't grab a reflection out of the water. It's not going to work. It will ripple and change. Now the boy was sad, but in his heart, the wish just wouldn't give up. Slowly, he began walking home. That's when he saw it, washed up on the golden sand. Hey, do you know what this is? It looks like a star, but this is called a starfish. So he found a starfish on the sand. He caught a star of his very own. And that's the end. I hope you enjoyed this, and hopefully either the end of this week or next week, we'll get to read Stuck, which is one of my favorite books. All right, I hope you enjoy your day today.